Look, ski match the game like the corners in New York gun daughters. Overcharging for how they did they like soul in the cold rush. Hoodies and bombers, my attire whole plate. My starting lineup look like Golden State. And this year we coming after hours like we open late.
No matter what, we're gonna keep fighting. That's what we do.
We're gonna keep fighting every single night.
That's what we do.
Sums up our team, sums up our city.
Yeah. We dig.
We fight.
We find a way.
Look.
Oh, I can't hear you, bro.
Yeah, you're muted.
You're muted.
Oh, no.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. Muted again. Right when the show started, everything want to act up.
That's crazy. Y'all hear me now?
There you go. Yeah, I hear you. Perfect. There you go. Perfect.
All right. Good. You know what I mean? Shout out to Pete King on the check-in, early check-in. You know what I mean?
Salute.
But yeah, shout out to everybody that pulled up. You know what I mean? Tonight we got some special guests. Knickanators is in the building. Dominick is in the building. This is Offseason Talk with Knicks N Ish. This is episode what? 7? Yes, indeed.
7.
Darlene is in the building. Yes, indeed. Yeah, so I don't even know where to start. I guess I'm gonna start with what, like, didn't make me mad, but it's a little bit perturbed. You know what I mean? Johnny Bryant signing with the Cavaliers. Very oppy move. Very oppy move. The bro could have at least went and like I wouldn't have been mad if it was like a head coaching job. I get it. That's an opportunity you gotta take, but you go make a lateral move to the ops. It's crazy. Making a lateral move to the ops is crazy. So, I'm gonna ask the panel how y'all feeling about that Johnny Bryant leaving our coaching staff to go chase after his boyfriend Donovan Mitchell.
I don't want to follow boyfriend.
Huh?
I don't want to follow boyfriend.
My bad. That was a bad setup. My bad. But it annoyed me. Obviously, I'm annoyed. Well, he went to go follow his friend. How about that? Let's put it that way.
Okay.
He went to go follow his friend Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, I mean, I think you summed it up.
Anybody, come on.
It up. I don't feel no kind of way about the move, to be honest with you. Although I do think he was good for some of the younger kids that came in. You saw how he developed a relationship with IQ, and then about the relationship with Donovan Mitchell. So the fact that that window, that ship sailed as far as Donovan Mitchell, it just wasn't going to happen here in New York for him. I'm not surprised at all. If the odd thing for me is that we're probably in the best position. Not probably, we are in the best position we've been in a long time as a team and an organization, the Knicks. So I found it, like you said, a weird time to do a lateral move. I think it comes down to two things. You can say I went to a team with my best friend or my good friend, or I took a shot at a championship and put a championship on the resume. That's kind of how I look at it. But hey, man, to each their own. God bless and good luck to them, man.
I think the most important thing for me right now is to wish my young lady, say congratulations on your engagement. I love you. I'm happy for you. You know that. I hope I didn't embarrass you. Anyway, the Johnny Bryant thing, guys, there's seasons and there's reasons. So his season has come, his season has gone. He didn't put us in the position we're in today, and we're not going to go backwards because of his loss, right? It's full steam ahead with or without him. We thank you for your service, as we say in the military, and it's time to move on. That's all we can do. We wish him the best. We're not bitter-faced people. We wish him the best, and that's it. Sorry. Have fun. Cleveland, though. I'm with you. See, Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's very happy move.
That's what I didn't like. I'm like, Dad, you go to the ops? Like, that's what we doing over here? But it's okay, because we're going to show him what them ass whippings feel like coming this season.
Did he get a pay raise? Did he get an upward mobility move?
I
I don't know. I don't know really what he got. I'll be honest with you. I was disappointed because I felt like this could have been a team that, but being that his name was out there to even coach the Cavs, his supposedly he was up for like they were supposed to like interview him or whatever. I would have liked him to like if they were like to let go of Tibbs or Tibbs decided to retire. Let's say we do what we do and Tibbs says, "Yo, I'm calling it a quits. I'm retiring," and boom, he could be the guy to take over. But I guess he had other plans, and that was the most disappointing thing for me.
It's a good point.
I would have. Go ahead. My bad, bro.
No, it's a good point. I had posted something similar where what happens now is succession planning, but
right.
What do you do now?
Right. That's my thing. Like, so now I hope it's not like Mo Cheeks,
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like I kind of see like the front office had a little foresight with the signing of Mo Cheeks to kind of fill the void a little bit. Yeah, Knickanator, you said you don't have no hard feelings. I'm petty. It's hard feelings. You feel me? Like you left to go to a rival team. Yeah, you left to go to a rival team. You left to go chase Donovan Mitchell to lose to the Knicks in 5. It's crazy. That's crazy to me. You leave to go lose to the Knicks in 5. That's crazy. You could have went anywhere in the world. But you had to go to
I guess he thought Cleveland was cool.
Yeah. You know what, see, I used to be like that. I used to be petty, but now, I'm a little older, and I think maybe kind of, you think he caught feelings when we hired Mo Cheeks?
Right.
I don't think Mo Cheeks was pulling up to be the lead assistant. That was Johnny Bryant's job. He was the lead assistant coach. He had the confidence of Coach Tommy T. Ain't nobody was gonna take that away from him.
The other thing too is that a while back now, it's things have been so busy for the organization and for the NBA at this time of year. But a while back now, remember Johnny Bryant was granted permission to interview for the head coach.
Yeah.
So even though he didn't get it, now they're aware that he is. Sorry about that. I had a call coming in, but they're aware that he's actively interviewing, so then they know they might have to replace him. So the fact that they brought in guys, I'm sorry, that's my daughter. I spoke about my daughter offline. That's my daughter. I'm gonna stick.
That's all good.
Go ahead.
Nah, do your thing, bro. It's okay. Family first.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know what I mean?
But yeah, man.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, T.
I'm over here. Yeah. But he I get it. You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do. What you feel right for you. But it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And I don't believe he think they could beat us. I don't believe Johnny Bryant went to this job like, yeah, we gonna make it far this year. This was more of I'm just gonna go hang out with my guy. We gonna travel the country again together. Like to me, that's what this move was. We gonna travel the country together with my friend. You know what I mean? And then we're gonna lose to the Knicks in 5, and so be it.
If they even see us.
But again, like I said, I think the what happened?
She said if they even see us.
Oh, that's a fact. Because they might not make. I'm not sold on that team. They got a lot of stuff to do for them to even be on my radar for real. Like
I was going to say,
I feel
that,
like that team is not built for postseason success.
Is he the difference maker for Cleveland? I mean, did he elevate them so high that we have to sit and say, "Whoa"? I don't know. Does an assistant coach give you that much clout that you're going to leapfrog into the second seed, or I'm missing something? I don't know.
And to your point, Dom, like I just don't see any upgrades on that team. Like, what have they done? What have they done to even say they better? They even got better this year.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything they've done so far.
I thought that was last year when they got the kid from Miami. I thought that was their upgrade. What's his name? Strus or
Max Strauss last year.
Strauss,
And
Noodles, yeah.
And to me,
upgrade.
Listen, and that's funny that you mentioned him, because I always tell people that Heat coaches shit only works in Miami. That don't work anywhere else.
Right. But that's a subject. I'm sick of that shit too, guys. Forgive me for saying it. But that Spoelstra, Marlon the Magician bullshit. I think the NBA is kind of sort of moving on from that. I know I have. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
it's
for
not
real.
A personal thing either. Let me just say this, guys, without getting into Miami. Who would have thought that they'd have more turmoil than the Knicks? But they have Heat culture. They got Marlon the Magician. But they got more problems than we do.
Yeah.
They do. Jimmy Butler again. You know, come on, guys. We've seen these movies before. It's our time. That's all I can say. I splidges, but no.
No, listen. Absolutely. Hey, Dom, let it out, bro. Let it out.
I'm just saying, it's our time. We can't, F them. I'm just so tired of hearing that shit, guys. If anybody was to be that lucky to have the talent they have, what has Spoelstra done other than that magical couple of runs when everybody just, what has he done without the big three? Don't tell me he got to the finals in the bubble. If you're a Knicks fan, and we get blamed for this shit all the time, that we get high on a first round win. If you ain't winning the big trophy, the ball, I ain't talking about that sippy cup shit. I'm talking about the actual trophy. If you ain't winning that, you're in the same boat as us. But now they seem to be in a worse boat than us, folks. I'm just saying. Not to get off of Johnny Bryant, but I'm sick of that shit. And he went to Cleveland. If he went to Miami, then I'd be like you, see. I'd be pissed off. This mother.
That's how I feel about Alec Burke.
Cleveland. Bless you, man. The weather sucks.
That's how I feel about Alec Burke.
No. See, no. Alec had to get $1. Come on, man.
Yeah. I'm not mad at Alec, man. I ain't mad at him for that.
I love Alec Burke, man.
Yeah, me too. He's a good guy. Here. Yeah.
He knew he wasn't getting. We got Bridges. He said, "Oh, I'm never gonna play."
Exactly.
He said, "I'm never gonna play. I gotta get out of here."
That's a fact.
Get that heat.
Nah, but to move on to a similar topic. Dealing with the coaches. Coach Tommy T. He's due for his extension. Do we feel like he's going to get that extension?
Absolutely. I don't think it's no ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. Unless he retires, I expect him to probably finish out his career as a Knicks coach. We've had, I don't know how many coaches. I probably could count them on my hands, my toes, 2, 3, 4 times. And no one has given us the outcome that he's given us. Right. So I definitely expect an extension coming for him.
I'm old enough to remember, being 4 years old to know where we was at before we got him. So, no, I'm with Miss. He's a Knick to me until he says I quit.
Yeah.
First of all, he's a Knick. He is an actual Knick. He goes back to our days of semi-glory or whatever you want to call it back then. But come on, guys. I think I did the math one time. I think in the 8-year span before Thibodeau, we lost like 365 games, 2 17-win seasons. And we're bitching about Thibodeau playing somebody 40 minutes. Crazy. All right. I digress.
Listen. I have my thing. I have sometimes he does things that kind of that kind of gets to me. But other than that, I love the guy. I love his attitude. I love when he curses out that's the biggest thing I love about him. He curses the refs out and gets away with it. Like he don't know, he be straight cursing them out and he gets no text. I love it. I love how he gets fired up like that. I love how he turned the whole culture around. Like as soon as he got here, year one, and then we took a step back year two, and then back to year three and year four was like back to where we needed to be. So, I feel like right now with this team that we got in place for Thibodeau, man, sky's the limit for him right now, bro.
Can you guys hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a little technical difficulty. I had to hop out and head back on. But as far as Tom Thibodeau, it's funny. I've gone through so much change with him. When he first came aboard, I found him just stubborn and rigid. You know what? He is stubborn and rigid, and that hasn't changed. But what has changed is I think the front office, has gotten on the same page. We got that, and I trace it back to, I think it's the Oklahoma City blowout in the Garden on a Sunday with all the kids in the building crying about how bad they waxed us. And James Dolan stepped out of his office and went into the room with them, and they had the long extended meeting. And I think some seats were probably warmed up in that conversation. And I think what came from that conversation is that they all got on the same page. I think, before you had, and this is again just reading stuff from different outlets, whether it was Ian Bagley or whether it was the Post or whatever, but you kind of had Brock Aller and William Wesley on one side of the ball where it seemed like they were more about youth and development. And Tom Thibodeau being 100% of who he is, we're a win now team. So I think once they ironed out that wrinkle, and you saw that when they traded away Cam Reddish after 38 DNPs CD, which is insane to me, right? But I think you saw the organization get on the same page. And once we all got on the same page and we fib it up, like I like to say, then that's what we're seeing right now. They're bringing in players that fit the cloth. They're bringing in players that are blue-collar guys, lunch pail guys. They put in the work. And that's the kind of guy that Tom Thibodeau is. And I think that's what we're seeing on the court. So it's a good time. And like I said, I've come a long way with him. Once I kind of realized that there was that divide in the front office, that they've now come together, then I'm comfortable. Let's see where he can take this team.
And I think not only the front office, but the players that they brought in fit his culture. We say it here all the time, this isn't the Nova Knicks culture. This is Tom Thibodeau's culture that everyone has bought into. And so having the personnel on the court that see his vision, that basically regurgitate everything that he says whenever they're interviewed, because they're completely bought in.
Good point.
That shows a lot. And so, why get rid of that? You get rid of Tibbs, you lose the culture. We lose what we have going right now. You absolutely don't do that.
Right.
I think Thibodeau sat down to Knickanator's point. I think Thibodeau sat down, and to what somebody brought up a second ago, that second year, I think Thibodeau sat down with the front office and said, I took that one for y'all. Because y'all were the ones, after we lost in the playoff, y'all decided we were the best defensive team in the league. We're going to go get offense. And what did you get? Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier. Really? That was your plan. So Thibodeau took the bullet. He sucked that one up. And the next year came, what happened? He sat the hell back and let Thibodeau do what Thibodeau do. And off the Magic Dragon, here we are. Come on, guys. Remember that. We'd be on a 4-year run if they didn't try to upset that apple cart after Atlanta beat us. Okay. You lost in the playoffs. Okay. It's not the end of the world, especially since we ain't been to the playoffs since the Civil War. Now you're going to get mad because we lost to Atlanta? Really? Come on, man. Remember that. We'd be on a 4-year, going on a 5-year run under Thibodeau, making the playoffs every year, if not for that fiasco.
Tom, you triggered a memory, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, because alcohol has an abuse on the memory of time. But you made the point. You made the point about, or I think Kev also made the point about the year that we didn't make the playoffs. And in that year, prior to the trade deadline, or right about the trade deadline, maybe even right after that, we had that month of February, we lost like 8 games or 9 games in a row. Derrick Rose had announced that he wasn't really coming back because there were some complications with the surgery now. And then the trade that they go out and make is to acquire Cam Reddish. And to me, that was kind of like a pivotal point, because Tom Thibodeau wasn't playing Cam Reddish, and he wasn't giving IQ the opportunity. At that time, I was of the mind like, well, this is the time that we play a little Obi more and we play a little IQ more because we're not going anymore. And Julius, without a point guard, Julius is night and day. It's two different people. Whether it's Jalen Brunson and all the kudos to Jalen Brunson in the world for what he is and who he is and all the virtues of his leadership, even with Derrick Rose, there was an impact to Julius Randle. You got a better Julius Randle. You didn't get that with Alec Burks. Alec Burks is not a real point guard like that. So you take that year, and I think that was such a pivotal year for us. I think that's
what it helped us. It helped us turn the page really quickly because we took that one on the chin and we came back and we haven't looked back since. I look at that 1 year as a hiccup, and we moved on. And look where we're at now, guys. To say this guy, first of all, to say he don't deserve an extension would be criminal, honestly. Whether you like the guy or not, to say we can just give up on him should be criminal behavior, and you should be tested. But he did. I'll just say this and leave it alone. He came and did what we thought he would do.
Yeah.
Nah, I agree. I agree, man. Like, he turned Julius Randle into the player that he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, turned Julius Randle into this 3-time All-Star that he is. You know, and he got to get a lot of credit.
Not only Randle, everybody, because even when you look at the Nova Knicks, no one, when we signed them, expected to see what we seen even last year. And so they've all had their best season of their career under him. Just his impact on players in general.
To include Brunson.
Yeah.
To include James. To include Brunson.
Look at Dante, the shooter that he became.
But if you watch him, though, guys, he didn't have as many opportunities as he had. He was always a good shooter, guys. When the Knicks got him, that was the one thing I said, this guy could shoot. Because, again, guys, go back to our run in the last 4 years. We was missing some things. Injury-prone Mitchell Robinson. No real good perimeter shooter. When Julius got the ball down low, either Mitchell Robinson got in his way or he had nobody to throw it to. Let's just be honest, guys. Who was our perimeter shooter before DiVincenzo? Fournier?
Before
Maybe.
Right. There you go. Reggie Bullock.
Reggie Bullock, yeah.
Reggie Bullock.
Yeah, probably Reggie Bullock, yeah. But now if you didn't watch this guy in Milwaukee, in Golden State, just look at his numbers. I always say, guys, numbers don't lie. People lie with numbers. He's always been a good shooter.
Yeah. Nah, I agree.
We hit pay dirt with that one, Miss Nick. Trust me. That was, I think, the biggest part of the adding. Well, other than getting Bridges now, but DiVincenzo gave us something we needed for quite a long time.
And at the money that we got him.
Yeah. Serious steal, huh?
Yo, that has to be like the steal of that free agency.
Are you referring to
Dante? Yeah.
Even Josh Hart, we got him on the cheap. And guess what, guys? In today's NBA, we still got Julius Randle on the low.
Hell yeah.
Brunson on the low. Yeah, we've been for as much money as the Knicks have as an organization. I think that's going to change. I honestly do. There's debates out there with the second apron and these napkins and tablecloths and all of this shit. I don't think the Knicks are going to buy into that. I think the Knicks are going to create their own napkins, tablecloths, and all of that shit and say, we'll pay. Because guess what, guys? That is not going to change the landscape of the NBA. The teams that want to win are going to pay like they've been paying. So don't let that scare you. Everybody's thinking, oh, my God, we can't sign T. We can't sign Knickanator no more. I give it a year, guys, and that shit'll be like something you didn't even remember. Get out of here.
It is.
We'll figure it out.
They can spend it all for our kids.
Yeah, exactly. It ain't like the Knicks don't raise their ticket prices every year. I mean, hello, we got the money.
So, Miss Knicks and T, you guys touched on something. Dom, you kind of led me here with this question. But you guys kind of touched on something in your last episode, and it had to do with Hartenstein. And you're talking about the contracts and the aprons and everything else. And I know you guys covered it in the last episode, but I have the question. I just want to take the opportunity to ask. I don't know. I don't think anyone's a CBA expert right now.
But fact.
So this I don't want to call it a clause, but this condition that allowed us to maximize what we could offer, but not really compete in the open market. Is this something that existed in the previous agreement, or is this part of the new agreement, or do we know? That I'm kind of curious about that. I know
feel
it's
like
125%. You can only go like 125% over 140. I forgot what the details.
So I think it's part of. It was part of the original agreement.
Okay.
It's because we only had his early bird rights. We didn't have his full bird rights.
Okay.
So if he would have played with us one more season, which would have been this upcoming season, then we could have matched anything. But I think for full bird rights, they have to play. Let me see.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of the type of bird rights we had. We only had his early bird rights. We didn't have.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
But that being said, guys, were y'all willing to give him the money OKC gave him?
Nope.
With or without an apron, a tablecloth? Which was y'all willing to do that?
I might have.
No.
The money.
No.
I'm just saying. Me personally, no. I'll tell you what I got mad at. When we let him go and we didn't get none of these backup centers like Drummond and Valanciunas, when we didn't get none of them, I got a little worried that we still don't have a backup. But you know what? I couldn't see him paying the money OKC did. No.
For me, right? Because you asked the question, I'm just going to say this really quickly, and then you guys say whatever you want about it. But for me, we've kind of, I don't want to call it a luxury, but we've been fortunate under Tom Thibodeau. And I don't know why it's worked out this way. I'm not trying to credit it to Tom Thibodeau, but this has happened under Tom Thibodeau. We've had 48 minutes of rim protection because you remember we had Mitch and then we had Nerlens, right?
Mm-hmm.
These were guys that were holding it down in the paint. So when one stepped out, you had the other one that was almost plug and play. It wasn't exactly like they were iHeart. iHeart brought some things as a facilitator that were awesome, but he gave you presence in the paint. So we still had 48 minutes of rim protection. So for me, I probably would have done it if it was possible, just to keep this nucleus together and get them back out there. I probably would have done it.
I think where we dropped the ball at, and this is why I blame Tibbs, is the lack of using him on the perimeter shooting the three. Because that's what really got him to sign with OKC. He said it himself.
Yeah,
they gave him. Yeah, they said, listen, we'll let you. We'll give you more. We'll give you more leeway on the offensive end. And I always said it. When it came to iHeart, like the guy, and in LA, that's how they used them. They used to use him as a three to shoot the three. You know, so
it wasn't like he was.
Like, me either. Because I feel like he gave that excuse to try and like tame us Knicks fans down. Because to be honest, what offense is he really going to provide Oklahoma? They got all their offense.
I was getting ready to say that.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you 1,000%.
He don't want us fans to go off on him.
Nah, listen. I completely agree with you. I'm just saying that supposedly that's what led him to go over there. But I feel like we could have used him as a decoy at times, and I don't think we didn't do it.
You chase the money, it's cool. You chase the money, that's
right.
You gotta feed your family. We're not gonna kill you. You know what I mean?
To your point, Kev, I would have felt that way a year and a half ago when we had very limited perimeter shooting. I might have bought into it then, but to use it as an alibi now with the shooters we had, come on, come on, Miss Nick. Take the money and go home.
Right.
Nobody's going to be mad at you. We live in a world where money talks and don't throw it.
To me, that's exactly what it was. When you look at it, the amount of money he got paid and then the amount of taxes you pay in New York, Oklahoma has no state tax. Exactly. So he's basically doubling his salary. You know what I mean? So, bro, you took the money. Enjoy. Y'all still not winning. So there we go. Like you said, the same thing with Coach Bryant. Like, you either gonna chase a ring or you gonna chase your friends or some money. He chased the money. Cool.
Right.
We gonna keep winning.
Miss Knicks,
Anna, to this day, Anna, I regret not retiring in Texas.
You're not.
What you were saying, Knickanator?
More money, less is best. I mean, come on. But again, guys, not to kill out. Why say it? Why even say that? Has he had to? Does any of us know how much offense OKC had before him? And now he's gonna what? He's gonna go there and turn into Rick Barry, Jerry West. Come on, knock it off. Stop.
I'm saying you're not buying it. You're not buying the excuse because it pretty much sounds
no,
like
not at all. Man.
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that I'm buying it. I'm gonna tell you why. I think that's not done. It's not. Listen, it's not a knock on Tibbs. Like the two things can be true, right? Like he wanted more offensively, and he can envision himself doing more in Oklahoma, and that's fine. Whether he's right or wrong, we'll bear out, right? He's not done. He's not done as a player growing and developing. He's still a young man coming up in this league. So I do think there's a little more to be had. But, you know, I don't know if that was manipulative. I don't know if that was just throwing a little chum in the water.
I agree with you. I think he still has more developing.
Yeah.
But how is he going to develop that in Oklahoma? That's what I'm saying. They already have their scoring.
Again,
and
if my memory serves me correct, they were the #1 seed in the West, weren't they?
Yep.
Yeah, they was. Yes, they was. And that's a conversation that we've had on live and in the back. You know what I mean? Like we spoke about this a few times that why would he choose to go over there? Especially you're gonna be backing up Holmgren.
No, so that was the catch, Kev. Them getting Hartenstein, they're gonna move.
They're gonna play them 4 and 5.
Right, they're gonna move him to the 4, and he'll become the next Kevin Durant. You know, 7-foot-something, 180 pounds, soaking wet. They didn't want him down there battling, guys. It ain't like they went and, you know, we're gonna make you a backup, not for that money, no.
You guys had your agenda. You guys had the point from the last episode, so I just wanted to kind of touch on that Hartenstein because I was a little confused about the bird rights. But I know you guys have folks that follow.
Just so you know, for the full bird rights, they have to be under the same contract for 3 years. So that gives you full bird rights.
Thank you.
Anything, I think at 2 years is the early bird rights. However, with Precious and OG, we got their full bird rights as part of the trade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like it was written into the trade.
Right, it was grandfathered in with them.
Yep.
Have you guys touched on Summer League or McCall at all?
Not yet, and we was about to get into that too because the way that Leon Rose got to me, I think he got away with murder. Like I really do think so. Like to only give up, you know, Bogdanovich and the 2 bench players that we gave up, and not even a core player and picks. I was excited about it. Like we didn't have to give up Deuce, we didn't have to give up Mitch, we didn't have to give up none of those main guys. And at first I had mentioned 4 first-round picks. They gave up 2 extra first rounds in the second. So, you know, how you guys felt about that?
Bingo. That was a steal. Again, guys, I have to preface this with I don't believe in the draft. Not believing it, guys. There's a reason behind it because the better you get, the weaker those picks become. So at the rate we're going now, we're going to be super late first-round picks.
Right.
Some of those picks, that kid's still in junior high school. So we don't know who the hell he is, what the hell he's going to do. But we know what Mikal Bridges is. So
100%.
Sometimes you got to, like back in the day when you play dice, scared money don't make no money. If you was afraid to give up picks, knowing what you were getting, then we would have been the old Knicks. We would have been those Knicks that were like, oh, God, should we? Oh, my God, draft picks. Again, we was the 2nd seed last year. We're going to continue to get better. That means, God bless the Mets. They'll have some 28, 29, 30 picks down the road. But they got what they wanted to, guys. Let's just keep it a buck. Oklahoma City has done this for years. Hence the reason they got a shitload of picks. They couldn't get out their way. They bargained off all their players, and they got a shitload of picks, and now they got Giddy, the skinny kid, and the list goes on and on. But they got what they wanted. It ain't like we put a gun to their head. We got Bridges. We know what we were getting. They got picks. They know what they were getting. Again, guys, if this would have been the Knicks of a regime and a half ago, they would have hesitated, and he'd still be on the Nets.
No, listen. Like, all right, my bad. Yo. No, listen. I was like, I couldn't believe it. Still, like when I seen that happen, I had a feeling they was working on something behind the scenes when they hadn't made the trade official. Who the players was, I didn't know who it was, but that to me was the surprise trade of the decade for at least the Knicks. Who would who would have ever thought after? I think the last time we made a trade with the Nets was in 50 years ago or something. 83.
I thought it was 83.
83.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It felt like that long, you know. Like, you know, so for Leon to pull it off the way he did, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, I love the trade myself. It's funny because, you know, my brother's a diehard Nets fan. Actually, he's a casual. I shouldn't call him a diehard. He's a casual Nets fan, but we go to a lot of games and we go back and forth about his team. And I've almost say I can take an interest in what they're doing because I find them so interesting where they are right now. But I kind of was wondering, would Mikal make the same mistake that Donovan made, which was not walking into that front office and demanding the trade, right? Like, Donovan wanted to be a nice guy. He didn't want to look like a bad guy to the fans in Utah. Like, he demanded a trade, and he ended up in Cleveland. Mikal did not do that. Mikal walked into what's this guy's name?
Sean Marks.
Yeah, and let him know. Not only do I want out, I want to go specifically to the
Sean Marks.
Yeah. So, I for me, it all starts there. If Mikal doesn't take that step, you might be right. You might be just kind of staring at the wall and wondering what are they going to do next. Those trade talks, when they happen fast, and they you know, it got hot quick for them. But prior to that, there was nothing. The only thing prior to that I thought he did was amazing was the OG trade. I don't think anyone saw that one coming, but I definitely didn't see this one coming. I thought it would have been a great deal if they did do it, but I can't go as far as saying I saw it coming. I don't think anyone saw this coming.
I was praying for you. I was praying for it to happen, but I kept saying, like, I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I'm like, yeah. I used to pray. Like, I used to tell my guy Mike. Shout out to my guy Mike. He's a diehard Net fan. And when we met up one day, I told him right after the Mikal trade, I said, man, I really hope one day he becomes a Knick, and he's like, yo, Kev, just stop, bro. It's not gonna happen. And I said, but let me dream, Mike. Let me dream. Please, just let me dream for once. And, you know, my dream came true.
I thought the way those three other Nova guys, I thought the way they was rubbing, I thought the Knicks were gonna get busted for collusion. I'm like, this is starting to look a little serious. This is starting to look a little shady. You know, are the Knicks gonna have to pay a price for this shit?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, be honest, guys. Every time you saw them, they were like,
Yeah,
but
you know,
they paid through the nose. You know, people talk
I want to
overpay, but
let me say my bad, y'all. Technical difficulties over here, man.
yeah, I see.
My bad, y'all. Technical difficulties over here. Y'all know y'all see me jumping in and out the stream. I'm trying to get it right because I couldn't hear nothing y'all was saying. But yeah, I don't think anybody believed that we was gonna secure Mikal, but I did predict the terms of the trade though. You feel me? I said it was gonna be bogey and a ton of draft picks that's gonna make us get if it was going to happen, that was going to be the trade. I thought it was going to either be Bogey or Alec Burke that was going to make that trade move. But yeah, to say that I was 100% like, yeah, we're going to get Mikal. You know, I was wishing on a star. You know what I mean? I was wishing on a star, dreaming how perfect he fits to this team. But yeah, I don't think nobody could definitively say like, yeah, we gonna get Mikal. Nah, nobody thought that. Because I thought the Nets was gonna hate. You know what I mean?
You know what pick I find interesting in that package? The Bucks pick. Because I do think that Doc Rivers is the Grim Reaper for organizations. I think once he arrives, they start going down. So I don't know what happens with that. I think it's 2025. Where they pull the plug. The amount of money they got tied into Dame. They're saying that they want to go young. They don't have any point of attack defenders. You got Brook Lopez out there. He's old, so of course he's on the block now. You got Bobby Portis out there. He's not really moving around. So now I think they want to get that front court spry because they need to protect themselves from Dame because Dame isn't stopping anything. So I think that 2025 pick gets interesting. I don't know what's going to happen with that one, but if they end up in the gutter, man, that one actually could come back to, I don't want to say bite us, but it could actually turn into something.
But
bit of a long shot.
But like, really think about it though, right? If you go back to everything the Nets do, right? They get all these draft picks to then go and explode it, trade them all to get a star, right? And then it doesn't work. It doesn't work out. So they trade the star to get more draft picks to only do the same thing again, and it never works out. So
the Nets haven't. I'm sorry, Kev.
No. Go ahead.
The Nets haven't developed a player since Richard Jefferson. They haven't drafted and developed a player. Like, think about that. They haven't drafted and developed a player since Richard Jefferson. What they do with it might. I think what you said is right on, Kev. They're gonna end up packaging that and trying to come up.
So it sounds like you're trying to say Cam Thomas about to be out of there soon.
No, listen, we're gonna see it.
Yeah,
Cam Thomas is brown skin Jordan Poole, bro. Like he don't play no D. And they talk about this dude. He's gonna be great for where they are now because he's gonna get a bunch of buckets in games that they lose, and they're gonna have something to talk about. He's gonna be that guy that sells tickets for them, and that guy. He's so overhyped, man. He can get a bucket. Don't get me wrong though. Dom, you remember Alex English?
Yeah, of course.
That ilk, like that kind, he can get a bucket, man. The kid can get a bucket, but he doesn't play on the other side of the ball. This league is about defense, so they're wasting.
No, listen. Watch Sean Marks drop the ball, package Cam Thomas, Nick Claxton, and a bunch of picks for. I'm telling you, because I've seen it happen already. He did it with Karis LeVert and Garrett Allen and what you call it, Jared Allen. They had a nice little team put together at that time with Kenny Atkinson, and they blew it up to get James Harden. It's just bound to happen with that team. So they keep saying Net fans keep saying they fleeced us, but I don't think it's a fleece. I think Leon Rose did a hell of a job. Because all you're gonna do is drop the ball with the picks and the players anyway. So great job, Leon.
It's amazing.
It's always a fleece when it comes to the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they first got him from Phoenix, they were like, "Oh, we got Mikal Bridges." But now that he's gone, or halfway through last season, it's like, he ain't shit. Get rid of him. Brooklyn Bridges burning, whatever the hell they were saying. And now that he's a Knick, it's like, oh, y'all can have him. He ain't worth nothing. Okay, we about to show y'all what he worth. He about to have the best season of his career this year. We about to show y'all what our two wings about to do to the NBA.
Other than Sean Marks, guys, but honestly, it's got nothing to do with me not liking the Nets. How this guy still has a job is amazing. I mean, thank God he's been voted into the New Zealand Hall of Fame. I think that's where he's from, New Zealand. I think he's in their Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was like 2017 he was inducted in their Hall of Fame. What has he done good for the Nets? I know none of us are Net fans, but let's go back to 2016, guys, to 2000, where we at now, 24? 8 years. What has he done in those 8 years? First of all, they hoodwinked the people of Brooklyn, and they threw the people in New Jersey under the bus after they built the brand. It's karma. Karma is biting the Nets in their ass for what they did to New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
They threw
Talk
New
that
Jersey
shit,
under the
Dom.
bus after that beautiful new arena they built in Newark. I think it was Newark. And then you haul ass to Brooklyn, upset the apple cart in Brooklyn, have people having to move out their neighborhood. This is karma, man. Sometimes karma comes back to bite you in your ass. But this guy has not been a good GM, guys, in his 8-year run. I'm just saying.
He's fortunate he had turnover in ownership, right? Because you almost get a clean slate. You almost get a clean slate when you get a new owner now. And now he's got to give you a year or two to kind of prove yourself. Josiah, if it was still Josiah would have to bounce that guy up out of there. Because like, what if you got to get him out of there? So he's kind of fortunate right now. He's going to get a mulligan on all these years of doing whatever he's been trying to do. The bad karma for me was how they did Kenny Atkinson. Kenny Atkinson has roots. Blood in the ground, real kind of guy. And I've always liked Kenny. I thought Kenny was doing an amazing job with that young team. I mentioned my brother's a Nets fan, so I've watched more Nets games than I care to admit. And I was a fan of Kenny Atkinson. At a point, I thought Kenny Atkinson would have been a good hire for us. But they did Kenny dirty, man. And I'm actually a little worried about the job Kenny took in Cleveland, because now you got Johnny Bryant waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
Because that's his man that brought him here, right? So
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Him out there, but as far as that karma, it's definitely there, Dom. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the Knicks being so bad for so long, the Nets would really be looking bad. I mean, let's not forget, guys, it wasn't 50 years ago that the Nets went to back-to-back championships. Remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't, like way beyond we was all old enough for that. But somewhere along the line, guys, and I track it back to 2016 when they hired this clown. I mean, do the research. What has he done since 2016? Like Nick said, they got rid of Atkinson, probably their best coach, turned their team around with chains and bolts. When everybody got hurt, he kept that team competitive. You get rid of him. Then you bring in the dynamic trio that couldn't see straight. And that lasted, 5 minutes? And everybody wanted out. So then now you're going to get fleeced trying to get rid of this garbage. And what did you get? What did you actually get for all the pieces you acquired? Paid money out the ass.
Ben Simmons.
You got Ben, then you got rid of him. I mean, you still got him, but you might as well get rid of him because, again,
that's the trade right there. Hey, Dom, I don't mean to cut you off, though. I don't mean to cut you off, right? I don't mean to cut you off, Dom. And hold that thought, because that's where he should have got fired. That's where he should have got fired. You traded James Harden for Ben Simmons straight up.
Yeah.
He was desperate, man. James Harden put him in a bad position.
Sean Marks is a war criminal. I say that all the time. I say Sean Marks is a war criminal. And you know the beautiful thing about this situation as being a Knicks fan, and I'm looking across the bridge, and I'm like, we used to do dumb shit like this. It feels good to be on the other side of the situation now, because we used to do all this dumb shit. We look like, this is what we look like all these years. It feels good.
Like I said, T, if we would have had, you probably didn't hear, but if we would have had our people running this funny farm called the Knicks a few years ago, we'd have never got Mikal Bridges. No, they would have got nervous. They would have got gun shy. And we'd be the old Knicks,
Yeah.
Thank God, guys. We could put this shit in our mirror because it hurts. Serious,
we had Courtney Lee, right? Remember this? We had Courtney Lee sitting there. I think it was maybe 16, and then we outbid everyone and paid Tim Hardaway like 17. And we had $30 million about tied up in mediocrity at the 2-guard position, which was a 10 or 15% of the cap, or even more than that. Like, I think God was
and that was strange, Nick, because we went and got Hardaway back. After we got rid of him. Really?
$30 million.
Yeah, facts.
That was a Sean Marks kind of deal. I mean, come on. I won't forget that one either. There's some strange.
That was nasty work.
That stick in your head.
That was nasty work.
Yeah, that was stupid.
It's good to be where we are now, man.
Yeah.
No, you wanted the Joakim Noah signing is the one that got me through the roof, man. I was like, wow, we almost paid this guy $100 million
bro.
to
We haven't
he got that
reached,
Bobby Bonilla type contract, didn't he?
We haven't even reached the draftees, and you bring up Noah. This is about to make a Tron 80s right turn right now. Noah, man.
I forgot about that one, Kev.
Man got banned from the facility, was making $100 million. We had to stretch him out. I think it was $6 million a year on the cap for like 3 or 4 years. We couldn't do nothing about it.
Oh man, that was terrible.
And I think one thing about the Mikal Bridges that a lot of people, they just look at like the picks we gave up and what we did, but they forget that throw in at the end of the trade with Shake Milton and the rest of them, like that kept us from hitting that second apron of the CBA. So that was huge for us because once you hit that second apron, you're very limited to what you could do about anything. You basically screw yourself on top of having to pay luxury tax, right? So staying in that first apron and still having, I think it was something like 17 mil to sign the remainder of the players that we need for our team, which is like 4 more players. And we're able to keep that mid-level exception if we wanted to sign Precious. That's huge.
Right.
Yep.
And it's funny because now I sit back and again with these Twitter wars Knicks fans be having, it was like seemed like just yesterday, Shake Milton was going to be the next. I don't know who. I mean, people were on Twitter saying this guy should be playing over. I mean, who? This guy had like one good year, and all of a sudden he comes to the Knicks, he becomes Cam Reddish, Kevin Knox. I don't get it, man. I just don't get it.
I mean, it is what it is. You have to always, when you see players, they may be good, they may be decent, but do they fit into what we have going on, right? Is our coach going to play them? We know what coach we have. We know he's not going to play rookies like that. We know he's only playing guys that he trusts because he's going in with the mindset every night to play to win. And if you're not in his trusted players, you're gonna get very limited playing time, even zero. Even with
you gotta be in a circle of trust.
Right.
It's all about that circle of trust, baby.
Even when we down and out and have nobody else, you're barely gonna get minutes because everybody's gonna play the whole game.
I do think he's gonna have to play that kid. I don't know how to say his name. The forward that they just drafted from.
Ariel Washington. Ariel.
The forward. I think they're gonna. He's gonna have.
What's his name? Ariel Washington Huckporty or something like that.
No, he's the big.
The first pick they got.
Pacome
Daddy.
I think they're gonna really have to look because again, people guess what? All the great moves we made, we still have no backup power forward. Are we going to expect Josh Hart to do what, be Iron Man every year? I don't. I got a funny feeling this guy might break that circle of trust.
Oh, and let me tell you something. And I'm sorry, Knickanator, hold that thought. That kid is only 18 years old.
Yes.
So, he got a lot of time to grow. I'm really looking forward to seeing him in the summer league. But I thought you was talking about the power forward that they drafted in the late round. I think it is the Ariel Huckporty guy. That's what I thought you was talking.
I'm talking about. He might.
Okay.
Circle of trust, Knickanator. Out of necessity.
I don't see it.
He might break it out of necessity.
I don't see it at all. Right now, we took for all intents and purposes because of injury, and I know Kev made the point about their contracts earlier. But for all intents and purposes, we took 2 of our starters, which are Dante DiVincenzo and Josh Hart, and they're now 6 and 7, right? They're now 6 and 7 because they're not starting here because Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby are going to start, right? So now, you're looking at a rotation of the wing that's going to include Josh Hart, it's going to include Mikal Bridges, it's going to include OG Anunoby. That kid is not going to see time, brother. I'm sorry, that kid is not going to see time. If he does, it's going to be garbage time, like the last 30 seconds of a game, and we're up 50, and he's going to be like, okay, go ahead, go in. I don't think he sees playing time.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean,
Is that the segue? Is that the segue into the draft?
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah. Nah, listen, we could do that.
We're gonna have to reignite the play the kids.
Yeah. We're gonna have to, man. We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to because even that other kid, that kid Kevin from Kansas.
No, the kid from Marquette.
Yeah.
No, the point guard. Yeah.
The point guard.
Tyler Korlek or something like that. Korlek.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in seeing him in the summer league.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really interested in seeing him because if he's anything like the kid from Indiana, I think we could use him.
TJ McConnell.
Yep.
Yeah.
The one thing that this kid that I like about him is he be talking shit. Like, yo, the kid got attitude. The kid from Marquette, Tyler Pollock. Yeah, he be talking shit. He's a good 3-point shooter. I like that. From when I've watched some highlights, I've watched the good and the bad. I always like to watch the highlights that show you everything, not just all the good stuff he does, but even the bad stuff he does. I think defensively is where he got to work on his game. He be looking lost sometimes, but other than that, offensively, I think he is. His passing ability, his eye. He averaged, I think, 7, almost 8 assists a game in college last year, the most in college last year. So, you know, that's something that we need because I think that's something where Deuce struggles a little bit, you know. So that's a good look, and the shoot from behind the arc, you know, Tibbs loves that. So, you know, I think he shot over 40% from the 3-point line. So I'm curious to see how that works.
Is he a Dragan Petrovic? Not Dragan Petrovic. What's his name? What's the guy's name that played for Miami and?
Oh yeah,
Gordon Dragic.
Right.
Gordon Dragic, yeah.
Is he a Gordon Dragic waiting to happen? I mean,
TJ McConnell kind of player.
Yeah,
you know,
kind of. You know, he
right.
gives us. I hate when people say when they talk about defense. I mean, I understand what people are saying when they say it, but this is the NBA where nobody plays defense. It's an offensive driven league. You know, there's probably a handful of two-way players in the whole damn league. But we always talk about a guy's weak on offense. No knock on anybody's tape when they say that. I just look at it where, you know, the Knicks held their opponent to 109 points last year. Everybody else, just think about that, guys. 109 was, I think, top with Boston, maybe. And everybody else was 110. Indiana was giving up 250 points a night. And they get to the conference finals. I mean, it's an offensive-driven league, and you gotta be able to score, guys. Yes, defense helps. Don't get me wrong, but you gotta score in this man's NBA. So he can put the ball in the hoop.
But with our coach Dom,
of course.
So that's we have a different coach than everybody else.
Yo, that's a fact.
Right.
If you don't play some type of D, you not getting no burn.
Exactly.
You saw what happened to Kemba Walker, DMPs all the way down the line. Oh, you're not playing no defense. I don't care who you are, bro. I'm sitting your ass down. Evan Fournier.
Yeah,
all them guys got.
Yeah, because you see what happened. Like, what's his name? He was a pretty good defender. He just couldn't get his game right. Grimes. You know, he was the one that I thought was going to be, you know, our guy, you know, good defender, good shooter. You know, I never had faith in R.J. Barrett. I knew quickly was going to have to go because we weren't going to re-sign him, you know, on and on and on. But we filled in those pieces really quick. And I love the quote R.J. Barrett made when he said, "It's nice to know I left the team better than it was when I got there." Yes, you did. Because we got OG Anunoby and your ass went to Toronto. So
damn, Don, what RJ did to you?
So you did make us better. Don't get it wrong. We appreciate your time.
Don't let the door hit.
I'm sorry. I mean, this kid, this kid might be pretty good, guys.
Yeah, I'm really interested. The things for me to look at, I want to see if he has a bag deep enough, if he has the athleticism to really get by people at this level. It's one thing to do it in college. It's another to do it at the NBA level. So I'm interested in that. He is a facilitator. He is a playmaker. So we've been in the bottom rung of the league in team assists for a while. We've had droughts. We've had scenarios where we find ourselves in ISO ball all day, and we have these droughts and easy. I know people hated Obi because he was always looking for that leak out, but sometimes an easy bucket means the world when you're having these 2 and 3 trips down and you don't get a bucket. And you have these droughts. You need a guy that can kind of make it easy for you. So really looking forward to that. The thing that I can't wrap my head around is they paid him so much money. I think it was a record set for a second round pick. And
it was. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Did he get more than LeBron's son?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying because he got a pretty good contract.
He said
it's
$6.6 million, I believe it is, and it's a record for a second round player. And hey, the guy looks interesting. I'm all for it. I want to see Rokas Jugabitis as well, but I think that's correctly. But I don't know, man. Is he going to have that athleticism to get by people at this level? That's what I'm looking to see as far as him.
Can he give us 15 minutes?
Let's
start there. Can he give us 15 quality minutes? With not letting the league get away or not let the deficit balloon even further. That's what I'm looking at.
5 to 10 would be good. 5 to 10 would be good. We saw Dante last year play a little point. So, and we've seen, I wouldn't put it past him, man. I wouldn't put it past him. So if he can give us 5 to 10 minutes, that'd be awesome. But yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see what this kid is really about because, like I said, can he do it at this level? I would love to see that.
Because I don't believe in, I hate to say this, that sounds crazy. I don't believe in the summer league, and there's a couple of reasons why. Kevin Knox being one of them. Kevin Knox made me stop watching the summer league since Kevin Knox. I don't think I've watched the summer league since Kevin Knox. Serious. He just, he was the king. He was coming to New York. He was going to be Bernard King and Patrick Ewing all rolled up into one. And this guy couldn't get his motor out of first gear to save his life. I'm serious, guys. Ever since that, I stopped watching Summer League.
Me and my pops still have arguments about that guy.
Oh,
Kevin Knox?
Yeah, my pops liked him, man. And my pops was like, oh, listen, Pop, that guy's trash, bro. I'm sorry. I love you, Pop. That's my pops. I love him.
To show you our age differences, my son was the other way. My son was telling me, Dad, this guy's gonna be what, Dominic? He needs to go to Ford Motor Company and get him a new engine. Because the one he got is broke. And you know what? He never developed an engine, did he, guys?
Nope.
He was like,
I never liked Kevin Knox. I never liked that kid. I've never seen an NBA player that had no moves. Like he had no moves. Have you ever seen Kevin Knox do anything with the basketball except for go right or left or shoot? Like he has you never seen him do in and out or behind the back. Not one move. Like I wasn't convinced when he was in summer league because I'm like, all right, he's playing like basic basketball. Like I could do what he's doing. You feel me? Like there's nothing special about what he's doing. But the reason why I watch summer league is to get a sense of the style of players some of these guys. Like I'm not really going to be blown away by like if they drop 30 in summer league. It's just I'm just trying to see how you play basketball for real. Like that's what it's for. Like if we've seen quite a few bums go crazy in summer league and get to the NBA and be straight dirt. Like, but yeah, it's just to get a sense of style of play. Like, how do you play? Like, are you comfortable in pick and roll situations? How do you defend a little bit? Like, that's what I'm looking for mostly when I'm watching the summer league. And
I think I got
the Tyler kid,
I'm sorry. I think I got to be a little honest. I think the Kevin Knox thing is a couple. It has something to do with Phil Jackson too. Phil Jackson said he was a good kid. Phil Jackson said Frank Ntilikina had long arms. So I mean, it's a combination of shit that made me just say, you know what? Get this. And my son used to tell me all the time, Dad, this guy, no, he's not going to be. No, son, stop. I hate to break your heart, man.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Phil Jackson, like in the beginning, had me sold on Frank.
No. I just thought about what Phil Jackson said. He's a good kid. I met his
I ain't
parents.
gonna lie.
I mean,
Phil in the beginning had me sold on Frank a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
no, T,
I never liked that kid, man. I wanted to play Ramon Sessions with that kid. I thought he was terrible.
Yo, Frank Ntilikina couldn't sell hot dogs in Charlotte, man. Get out of here.
Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I like Frankie, right? I like Frankie, but wait. You know where I think I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna lie. Listen, I really thought Phil Jackson tried to make them run a system that they had no clue about. How you gonna make you went and you wanted to run your triangle with guys that don't fit your system? How is that gonna work?
We didn't even have the personnel to try.
Right.
Exactly.
Phil Jackson's idea of culture was Lopez, Afalu, and Williams. Y'all remember them 3 names, don't y'all? That was his culture.
The problem with
for
Frank
some
was he was
reason, guys, I was thinking Phil Jackson was still getting high. We know he was still smoking weed. You know, the older you get, you still smoking weed. It's doing something to your brain cells, people. Come on, just say no to drugs. I never had no faith in Phil Jackson when he told me Aaron Afalo, Derek Williams, and Robin Lopez was our new culture. And then you draft and Kevin Knox.
If Frank had any path, it was never going to be as a point guard. It would have been as a 3-and-D wing, and he had to develop that 3.
Nasty.
You know what was worse, guys?
Right. That's
You know
a fact, Nicholas. That's a fact.
To put him as a point guard, you set him up for failure.
Who did the Knicks pass up to get Kevin Knox?
Donovan. Was it Donovan? Oh, was it Donovan Mitchell? Was Donovan Mitchell?
The number one for me was Michael Porter Jr.
They
didn't want to take
was it that
on Porter because of his back.
Right.
But Michael Porter Jr. could have sat on the bench just where Kevin Knox was sitting, and then he became Michael Porter Jr. that we know today. Kevin Knox became a good kid that had a good family. I really liked him. Okay.
Yeah,
where's he at today?
They gambled on upside. They thought he had a high ceiling.
Phil Jackson set us back 5 years. Yep.
Yeah.
He set us back 5 fucking years. Excuse me, 5 years.
He did.
Smoking weed.
He did.
In Montana.
$20 million a year.
I'll save you, Leon Kane. You know.
Woo. All hell, Leon.
That was rough time.
Amazing, right? Remember the memes that were floating?
Horrible times.
Remember the meme with him sleeping that was floating all over the internet? Remember the Leon
that was bad.
Meme? You know, it was. And the thing now is that you think about where we are today, you think about what happened when he first came aboard. It's almost, I don't want to say scheming and plotting, right? But it was almost like he was studying and watching. He took little nibbles here and he took little nibbles there. It was almost like he was building up to this point, and then he just kind of went all in. He said, all right, here we go. That's how it looks in hindsight. Now I can see that. Back at the time, I'm like everybody else, like this guy's asleep at the wheel. I ain't gonna act like I wasn't saying that back then. I definitely was. But now it kind of looks like, you know what? He was because listen, we are one of the rare organizations that hired 3 rookie president of basketball operations in a row, right? We went with Phil, like you guys have been glorifying for the last few minutes. We went to Steve Mills, who had never done it before in his life.
Oh my goodness, that was terrible.
And then now we went to Leon Rose. So the fact that he was slow, and again, all in hindsight, I don't act like I had this foresight way back then, because back then I was killing him. But in hindsight, he was learning, he was watching, he was seeing how things move, he was seeing how things could happen for him and what wasn't happening for him. And it all led to this point today. So in hindsight, it was awesome that it played out that way. But
now urban legend has it, and some of y'all was probably still living in New York at the time. When they hired Phil Jackson, that was on the cusp of people boycotting outside Madison Square Garden, wasn't it?
I'm guilty because I was there. I was there at the boycott. I was there. I was there at the boycott right in front of
him. I didn't make it, but I definitely was with it.
I was a little busy, so I didn't for a couple.
I was there.
They was boycotting and they put on the marquee. They hired Phil Jackson.
Yeah. That kind of forced James Dolan, I think, to make the move because. Go ahead, T. Go ahead, T.
Oh yeah, my fault.
I think
it's hard for me to hear y'all, so I'm like trying to pick up bits and pieces what y'all saying and jump in whenever I could jump in. But to Knickanator point about not knowing Leon was going. I've been kind of telling everybody for like the last few years, like, yo, he said about 4 or 5 years we gonna be contenders. I kind of see what he trying to do, and now here we are. You know what I mean? They was making jokes in the memes. I was defending Leon around that time when they had the sleeping meme and all that. I was defending him. Let my man cook. I see what's happening. Yeah. He had a little setback with the Kemba and Evan saga, but I saw him trying to fill a void that we obviously had. We didn't have scoring at the point guard position. He tried to get Kemba to remedy that. We needed more 3-point shooting. He tried to get Evan to remedy that. It failed horribly, obviously, right? But I saw that he's trying to make the moves that we need instead of just throwing anybody together, like not paying attention to the needs of the team and just signing names, which was an Achilles heel of this organization for years,
decades.
Just whoever got a name, no matter how old they are, pull up. We got you. You used to be somebody. There's a spot for you here. and when he started doing that and focus, tried to focus on the needs of the team, which he's still doing to this day, I have faith in him. He said 4 or 5 years, we in year 5, and we looking like contenders. He kept his word. And I really was starting to beat that drum when people were saying that he wasn't doing interviews. I'm like, why you got to tell you what the plan was? And the plan's still the same. It's still the same plan. From his first interview, every year I got to come and reiterate the same shit. Like
two things happen, right? Two things.
Happen.
The organization went through a transition, and we, the fan, had to go through a transition because the almost schizophrenic pace in which we used to hire coaches and fire coaches. If you remember, Steve Mills literally said, we're going to have press conferences every 10 games to update the fans. That's when you kind of knew, like, all right, this is just crazy now. Like I said, so Leon kind of stripped all that away. He said, later for this, right? We're not catering to ESPN. We're not catering to angry fans. We're going to follow my blueprint, and we're going to get there. And again, I don't want to act like I was saying, like you see, I don't want to act like I was you. I was definitely having a sleeping Leon meme circulated on my timeline. But to his credit, right? Like he's did what he's had to done, and he's kind of trained the fans a little bit to take faith.
Hey, you know what? I guess we hadn't had a plan in so long that nobody. Again, if you want to be that organization that leaks everything, then you better be comfortable in what you're leaking, because everybody's going to latch on to every single word you say. And as T said, he told us 4 or 5 years. Why do I got to say this shit every 10 minutes, every 6 weeks? You know, I gave you my introduction. When I signed on with y'all, I said, what am I going to backpedal now and say, oh, you'll make it 5 to 10 years? No, we're an organization before Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau had 6 coaches in 7 years. Y'all remember that, right? Y'all remember that, right?
Yep.
He and Tom Thibodeau, if they did nothing else, fellas, if they didn't bring us stability, I missed something. Yeah. We sure as shit didn't have it.
But that was the thing for me. I never did chant or cheer or post fire Tom Thibodeau. I wasn't on that type of time because I knew that we had this history. We needed stability. We needed some kind of roots. We needed to show it. While I had my frustrations with them, I was never on like let's fire Tom Thibodeau. I wasn't on that type of time.
No.
Yeah,
I think what they did was important because like you said, Dom, like the more you talk,
I ain't gonna lie. I was on the fire Coach Tommy T train. I ain't gonna lie. When RJ got hurt at the end of the game, I said, "Oh, that's the final straw. Get him up out of here." Why was RJ still in the game? He about to mess up our whole future because I was sold on RJ. RJ was my guy. I was sold on RJ. RJ, my God. But I was ready to get Coach Tommy T out of here for RJ Barrett. But
I remember that.
I've come to my senses. I've come to my senses, and now I defend Coach Tommy T like my life depends on it. Don't nobody say nothing bad about my coach.
and going back to what you said, Dom, like it's really important that we stick to the plan because, like you said, media will latch on to every single thing you said, especially in New York. And so for the media not to have access to our guys or our front office or our coach whenever they want, that's major because that keeps them mentally not with the media. You know, a lot of players say they didn't want to come to New York because of the media, because of the fans. But of course, even with their lack of access to our team, they still find a way to stir things up. So for them, you know, for our front office to be like, look, y'all not gonna be able to get info from us. Y'all not gonna talk to our guys when we don't want you to talk to our guys. That's huge. That's huge. And no front office that we've had that I remember in my 40 plus years have done that. You know, media always had unlimited reign to our guys.
It's funny. It's like the Knicks took a page out of. I don't know if y'all remember a lady named Condoleezza Rice. The Knicks sort of took a page out of Condoleezza Rice's playbook. Condoleezza Rice had a way to tear down the Soviet Union without firing a bullet. We're gonna act confused. We ain't gonna say shit. They're gonna think we're not paying attention. They're gonna spend all their money, and what happened? They fell without us firing a bullet. The Knicks did the same thing. Knicks didn't say nothing. Everybody's thinking we're confused because nobody's talking and they're not watching what we're doing. They just, because we're so spoiled and we think we're supposed to know everything, that they kept everything under the cup. And next thing you know, we got Julius Randle, Brunson, the whole Villanova fucking staff, and they still ain't saying nothing. And he still is not talking.
Yo,
like
and
he
that
said, what does he have to say? What is there to say?
every single trade that this front office has made has been like right under the radar. You don't even know it's coming. They on stealth mode.
Today, I'm not gonna hold you. Till today, I'm still like, is Macau really a Knick? Like, is this for real?
You know what?
I'm not. Yo, I was literally driving. I forget where I was, Virginia or some shit, and I'm like, T-Time, did you see that, T-Time?
You know what it proved, Kev? It proved that all these Woj bombs and all of these shit you hear about, there hasn't been a Woj bomb in how long now? Every move the Knicks made, everybody said, damn, T, you saw what the Knicks did? That's how it's supposed to be done. You're not supposed to. It's like, you remember when you was a kid and your mother told you what goes on in our house stays in our house?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Fact. Yo, and that's why I get so frustrated when, you know, I see people with all these fake trade rumors. I be like, well, where'd you get that from? Because I don't care. I'm not gonna say anybody's name, but you know, all these big beat writers and you know, big network people, and they got all these trade rumors and scenarios and who the Knicks probably traded for. I'm like, well, can't be coming from our office because we don't leak that kind of stuff. Like every trade that we've seen so far, nobody had a clue. It was just like you wake up, you get the news. Such and such has been traded for such and such and such and such. You like,
I want to make a
word? Like, where that come from? You feel me? So I get frustrated because I see people all the time and they live and die by that. Oh yeah, we about to do this. We about to trade this person, and nobody knows. Nobody knows in the organization. Yeah, I mean that people with their sources. I hate that word too.
Yeah, there's still Knicks fans. There's still Knicks fans today talking about trade Julius Randle, but they stop at that. Like trade Julius Randle for who? You notice that, right? They'll always say let's trade Julius Randle, but they never say who they're trading him for. Where you getting 20, 10, and 5? That shit don't grow on trees.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
For 30 mil.
Yeah,
you know,
30 mil. That's a max
Where
play.
that XO at?
Yo, I got to get back to that.
Huh?
Where that XO at though? I know it's Monday night.
That XO big gone. He got
the big.
that exo bingo. That's a old video. That's when I was wearing the suit, Kev. That's when I used to wear the suits.
Oh, word! Oh, wow! Look at you! Oh, wow! That's crazy! Wow! Wow! That's some real old school shit right there, boy. My man, yo, that about my guy. I've been following for that. That's when I was just a follower. I was just following, watching them on YouTube and shit.
One of the things that I kind of wanted to touch on really, really quickly, and I was on States Pod. Sorry to mention someone else, but I was on States Pod.
That's all right.
And I was on with South, and we had the conversation then, and I kind of want to rehash that conversation here now, if you let me. But the thing that's happened with sports journalism is so sad to me. Sports journalism doesn't exist anymore. And part of it, I want to say I blame ESPN for the highlight culture, for the instant gratification snapshot. And we've developed this thing where it's like speculation sells more than actual journalism. Right? Before you would have articles that would give you the pulse of what's going on in the locker room, or give you the pulse of what's going on in the league and what's trending and what or not. You don't get any of that anymore. You get the rumors. And it's just, for me, it's shit. Pardon, like, it's just shit journalism. I hate it. Some of the reasons, like with CP, when CP first started doing this thing, I started supporting him quietly. I started cash apping people because I didn't want my name anywhere. When I first came on the internet, I was real paranoid. But anyway, so it was so refreshing to see even what you do now, right? Even what Knicks N Ish does now, where it's not that, like, yeah, you'll have the conversation about the team that we love, but then you're still bringing information to the table. All of these major media outlets, it's all just speculation and talk and opinion and the Knicks are such a cash cow, right? Like, we generate clicks. The term Knicks for clicks is real, and it just made these guys lazy, right? The LOL Knicks era. Everybody, Leon Rose and the New York Knicks are what is that? Destroy and rebuild, right? Destroy and rebuild. That is what's really happening on so many different levels. We had to destroy what we were. We had to rebuild and reincarnate ourselves as a stable, functioning organization that compete. We had to destroy and rebuild the mindset with the fans, where the fans were just so reactionary and they wanted everything now. They were impatient, and now you see fans kind of be like, "Oh, okay, we see where this is going. We like where this is going." And now we're doing that with the media, where you got even Kendrick Perkins, who's one of the first people to jump on board with the Knicks and say some of the positive things that was happening when everybody else was still on the LOL Knicks train. And everybody else was trying to make a picture about us. So, when it comes to journalism, man, it's the salaciousness is disgusting, man. It's lazy reporting. It makes you appreciate the content creator, man. It really does.
It's dead all around, guys. I think I told you, Kev and Anna, when y'all first invited me on, I said the one thing I always liked about y'all is y'all weren't the Knicks for clicks. Like, I started identifying that most Knicks for clicks was being created by Knicks fans. We was creating such a negative conversation about our own team that there used to be a day where they would say, "Damn, T from Boston, he's just trying to get Knicks for click." But it became us, and that's what I always liked about y'all, because I watch y'all even if I'm not talking to y'all. Y'all never did that. Y'all didn't sell out to, you know what? I need to throw my team under the bus so I can look good. I need to throw my team under the bus in case this bullshit I'm talking about comes to fruition in 3 years. I mean, really? Come on.
And now, listen, I appreciate that. We kind of like, we really love this team. You know what I mean? Like, and we don't like really pinning players against each other. I think that's kind of corny. If you ask me, I think it's nasty.
Yeah. I think a lot of fans just take it really overboard, right? Like, I think people just take it completely overboard. It's one thing to be critical of your team because of their play, and it's another thing to create like this craziness and this hatred where fans are hating fans and players are seeing it on social media. You know what I mean? You can be critical of someone's play and then get over it, and that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's at the end of the day, it's still a sport. It's something we love to watch. It's something they love to do. I was very hard on Randall to the point where I'm blocked on all social media from him. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he flipped the script. So why am I going to continue to hate on him? You know what I mean? He still plays for my team. He turned the switch. He became the player that I wanted him to become. So then you show love. And I think people don't know how to get past that. They don't know how to not be mad anymore. Like, we were mad as a fan base for so many years. They don't know how to be just get over it.
Right.
So,
and it's
so check it, right? So check it. Hold on, y'all. To your point, Dominic, the version of Knicks N Ish that Knickanator was watching in the back, right? I created it for that very reason. I did not like the way my team was being covered. I did not like. I watched the sports networks, and I hated the way my team was being covered. So I said, "Yo, you know what? I'm going to put on a suit, sit at my kitchen table, and report about the Knicks." You know what I mean?
But you forget one thing though, T.
Hated the way
you forget one thing though. Before it was Knicks N Ish, it was Sports N Ish. That's what it originally was.
It was Sports N Ish before it was Knicks N Ish.
Yo, can you guys
Knickanator, what's up? You trying to? What happened?
Because I'm messing. Y'all know Stan, right? From
I can't really see.
Knicks. Yeah. Bigger, but so I shared this. I shared the link to the show that's going on here. I shared the link. I got a few hits on it or whatever. I shared it late. I didn't share it early. I didn't look at Stan over here. Oh, so you got time for everybody else, huh? Y'all see this? Come on, bro. I can't do that, right?
Listen.
Shout out to Stan.
Shout out to Stan, man. Shout out to Stan. I like Stan though. He cool. Stan is cool. All them guys.
100%. Stan is 100%, but he over here busting chops,
man. Nah, but a lot of people, they care more. They care. A lot of people care more about their taste than they do the actual team. And I think over here is different. It's not like that.
This is
it's not what we built here. You know what I mean?
Dom kind of led the point here, and I just want to say this quick point. Shout out to Cedric Shine, because Cedric Shine was the person I'm stealing this quote from. It was when they were doing their show. I forgot the name of the show they used to do all the time at lunchtime. I'm going, KCDA, my bad, KCDA. So, but he said something there, and it hit home for me, and I'm gonna share with you guys here. Don't become the people that you hate, right? Like people got into this content creation mold because they weren't happy with what they were getting from mainstream media. And then you see other people that see that and they copy that blueprint because they want the traction. They became, like Dom said, Knicks for clicks. So they're definitely two sides of the coin. You guys are cut from the cloth that I can appreciate because you guys always keep it straightforward. You're not doing the funny stuff. And I mean, shout out to them. Whatever you got to do to live, get it how you live, whatever. But I appreciate what you guys bring to the table. So shout out to y'all.
Nah, man, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you.
Now, I gotta ask you guys, when you guys do this, is your goal to just spread the word?
It's
your goal is to spread the word, have some fun talking about the Knicks. From what I gather, I never heard y'all go back and say, "Well, you know what? Because I said, and I remember when I said, and this happened." I never heard y'all say that. And that's what throws me for a loop with a lot of this social media and this content creator shit that's being thrown about. Because to Knickanator's point, we didn't like it when it was done by the media.
A lot
but now we're imitating the media, trying to do this for what?
100%.
A lot of people 100%. Chasing the bag. There's a little bit of change in the social media shit. And that's what they're chasing. You know what I mean? They're chasing the little bit of changes in the social media stuff. Like, would I like to get paid to talk about the Knicks? Absolutely. But is that the main and ultimate goal for why this started? No. And I don't want it to be that way. You feel me? I love my team, and I just want to share my love with my team. I could talk about the Knicks all day. Like, literally, I talk about the Knicks all day. Like, people see me that know me, they know I gotta holler at T because I know we gonna have a good 30 minute to an hour conversation about the Knicks. You feel me? And this is what this is, and I get to share it with people who support. You know what I mean? I've been blessed to have a super loyal fan base. You know what I mean? Like, the same people been watching me for 5 years now. I ain't got the biggest following, but I definitely got the most loyal following for real. I mean, no matter what time I turn on this camera, they get that notification. They popping up.
That's what's up, man.
And I appreciate that. That's what we do this for. Yo, it's coming up on the old man's bedtime.
Hold on, T. Dom was trying to say something.
It takes me back to how I met Mrs. Nick. We was doing this Bleed Blue show for years. You know, we're on the phone doing just regular talking Knicks for like 8 years. I've been rolling with Steve Azul for like 8-9 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Did I think about money? No, because again, not to sound, I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm not going to do nothing for money where I have to sell my soul to the devil. I just want to have fun. I want to talk about my team. And you know what? We've been doing this for so long, and that's why I like y'all, not to mention that my girl's on here with y'all, but it seems like y'all just have fun doing this. And that's what I like. I'm not into this for clicks, followers, likes, you know, all that bullshit. I just like I'm like T. I just like talking about the Knicks. If you think that's crazy, I could talk about the Yankees as much as I talk about the Knicks. So but y'all seem to just have fun doing this, man.
Yeah, we enjoy this to the fullest. And that's why I try to I told the guys, I was like, yo, how y'all feel about inviting Dom back? And I wanted to bring Knickanator up because I remember one time in one of the one of the events, Tony's event, he was like, yo, man, I wonder when you're gonna have me pull up on the show. And I was like, yo, whenever you want, man, whenever you want. So, and y'all seem like good people.
You feel me?
Right, like y'all seem like really down to earth people. I haven't met Dom in person yet, but I met Knickanator in person quite a few times, and he's always been 100 and been the same person that he's in online and in person as well. So
Knickanator ain't gonna tell you this.
My boy Knickanator, I get on my Twitter. I see Knickanator. I see Knickanator with a cup of tea. You know what, y'all? I'm just here today. I got a couple meetings. I had a couple meetings. You know what I mean? I got some downtime. I'm like, yo, why you so smooth doing this? Like, and then he hit you with a joke. It got the fire old school hip hop in the background. I was like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You feel me?
It's
not no nasty cake.
I drove all the way from North Carolina. To meet Knickanator.
I enjoy your content because it's not no nasty cake.
Yeah, I don't know how to put it, man. I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan like y'all fan. Like,
there you go.
And I'm a diehard for it. You know that.
Yeah.
Like I get lost in the Knicks. I do a lot, and we all do a lot. Not to make it sound like I do a lot, but we all do a lot. But the Knicks is that space where I go online and I find people like me with the same passion for the team that I have, and we have these conversations. And just like life, there's some folks that are over the top, there's some folks that are extra, and it's all part of the growth that we're all part of. But nobody's here because they hate the team. Like everybody's here because we love the team. So just take it all in stride. But I appreciate you guys for those nice words. That was nice to hear. And shout out to Dom. I appreciate you, Dom, that you definitely made that effort to come all the way out there. And Dom always has behind the scenes real positive and reinforcing words for me. And as a fellow graybeard, I almost listen a little more because he's got a little more than I do. I do appreciate when you take the time out of your life. It goes on one ear and not the other. I do appreciate it.
It was funny as hell when I went and saw Knickanator. I'm trying to park my car, right? So I finally get my car parked and I come down this little hill. And there's these guys standing outside. I was like, hey, you already went inside, Nick. I said, so this is where, and this guy out of nowhere said, you must be Dominick. I'm like, you notice I don't put a lot of pictures on social media. I'm like, let this guy know who I am. He must have been reading my mind.
Fact.
He said, come on, man, you can't hide that voice. I'm like,
nah,
shit.
Sure.
I didn't know this guy from Adam's House Cat, man.
I'm
like, how did he catch on to this shit? He said, I heard you when you was talking to Knickanator about where can you park. I'm like, what the? But I'll tell you what, guys, it was one of the best times I had. It was the last game of the year, remember, Nick? The Knicks was second seed.
Dominick, the
place was on fire, going crazy.
Dom, you got a voice for radio, man. Facts.
Facts.
You got a radio
Word.
that's like
The Velvet Fog.
Yeah.
facts.
I ain't gonna lie.
can't make it no more.
I ain't gonna lie. I was mad I ain't
But
make
no.
that event, man. I wanted to make that event, and
that was off the hook.
yeah, I was mad I couldn't make it, man, because I was trying so hard to make that event, but I just couldn't make it.
It was like a Bronx reunion because I met Knicks Rudy, me. We're all from the Bronx, you know, the place is in the Bronx. Ironically, I was 8 miles down the road. I was in New Jersey for a funeral. So I said, I ain't going to miss this, you know. Yeah. But knowing y'all stupid ass traffic, it took me an hour and 20 minutes just to drive 8.2 miles. I was like, this is some bullshit. How do y'all put up with this nonsense?
I do want to take a second to say this again. I was so thankful for that day. I was a little nervous. I never did anything like that. It was just kind of spur of the moment. Like, you know what? It's the last game of the season. Going, let's do this. Let's have people come out. I'm going to raffle these tickets. I got my hands on an extra pair that I didn't. Anyway, it's a long story. But I got my little stories. I got to say I was going to raffle the tickets off. And then there was some other content creators that had reached out. They wanted to kind of partner. And for whatever reason, but they were going to bring merch and all that. So we were going to have a real nice scene. But when I got there, I was just by myself. And it was almost like the quiet before the storm because you don't know how it's going to turn out. And when I tell you that so many people showed up, so many people had showed love, it was a great game in itself. It went into overtime. There were people, it got so hot in there that there's a garage door. The side, they opened the garage door. We got a nice breeze in there. People that were walking by and down the block heard us cheering and came to the bar. Like, I still go to that bar. I still go to Bronx House. And they talk about it like, bro, when you're doing another one. Like, when you do, like, people were coming from down the block that had nothing to do with it. They're like, oh, yeah, well, let's go Knicks. They took part of it. So it was such a great event, so much good energy. I met so many good people. Thankful to everybody that came out, man. That was a nice time. That's it. Thank you.
Well, listen. Next year, we planning on doing some shit. In the summertime, not this year, next year, and we're gonna keep y'all tuned in for that one.
Keep me posted. You already know.
Yeah. What you was saying, T-Tom?
Yeah. Yeah, you already know what I'm about to say, Kev.
It's
about that time. I'm about to go to bed. It's past my bedtime. You heard?
I hear that.
But before we get out here, I don't know if we broached this last topic because I was having the worst technical difficulty today. I'm still struggling to hear y'all. I'm getting bits and pieces of the conversation. But real quick, you know, a lot of people are off the board already, but is there anybody that you guys feel that's still available in free agency that the Knicks might need to take a look at? If anybody, even if they do or don't. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't even know. I don't even know if that sentence made sense. But yeah, free agency.
No, someone shared a list recently. The only name on it that made sense to me was Precious Achiuwa, to be honest with you.
Yeah. That's it. I feel the same way. I think Precious to me was the sleeper in that trade.
Talk about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of guards and there are a lot of forwards that are available, but bigs, and which is where I think we need the help at. There's nothing really out there for Precious Achiuwa. I mean, Hoarder, right? I don't know who's out. The point guard that threw the basketball at Indiana, he's still out here. I forgot this kid's name, but
Beverly.
Oh, Beverly, yeah.
Yeah, he threw a basketball at a fan, man. That's a crazy scene.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that one.
That bad.
He might be done in the league, that one. But,
he might be done. He might be done after that.
I still think that there's a trade possibility because there's a reason why Precious hasn't been signed. So that I do think that there's a trade possibility on the table. I don't necessarily buy that it's Walker Kessler. I could be wrong, but there always seems to be misdirection with me on rules. You get a lot of smoke about something, and then boom, you get something out of left field that you don't expect. So, but I do think there's a move coming. I don't think it's a free agent signing. I think there will be a trade.
I kind of gave up after Valanciunas and Drummond got signed.
Because
I thought those could have been a couple of bigs that could have filled in, you know, for Mitch. And they would have been a good fill-in because they could still play X amount of minutes in case Mitchell goes down again. But after that happened, I was like, you know, who do they really need? I mean, on the low, are we going to keep Precious? Because at least Precious can fill that role of a backup power forward. And again, Josh Hart don't got to be Iron Man or Edward Scissorhands. He could just be Josh Hart. We don't need him to play power forward for, 66 games. Let him be Josh Hart. So I think on the down, I think the Knicks are going to have patience. If nothing transpires, they're gonna keep him Precious. Why not? I mean, why not?
It'll stay that way until either the trade deadline or the buyout market. That's it. I don't see anything else with what's available.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Valanciunas too. Yeah. I like him because he's a really good rebounder.
Kind of waiting Precious out. I think they kind of waiting Precious out. Like, yeah, you go test the free agent market. I think he might be asking for. He played pretty well, and I think he might be asking for more than what he above his pay grade. He's asking for more,
right.
And they like because what's the reason for them not to sign him already, right? Like nah, you can go test that free agent market, and then you come back to us and take this check. You know what I mean? Like, as far as
I would like to see,
I don't know who just said it. Like, what do we really? I think Dominic just said, what do we really need?
Yeah,
and I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dominic.
I'll tell you this, guys. I'll tell you this.
Yeah, that's what we need.
The Knicks,
and we don't.
If the Knicks could package, re-sign Precious Achiuwa, maybe throw in a pick or two. I hate to do it, Deuce McBride, and go get Vukovic from Chicago, because they're gonna have a yard sale sooner or later. They already started having their yard sale. They just can't get rid of Levine. The Bulls are going to have a yard sale.
Not.
Let's tell you right now. Vuk is Enos Cancer with a 3.
I don't like that guy like that.
Vuk is Enos Cancer with or Enos Freedom, whatever he's calling himself these days. Vuk is Enos Cancer with a 3.
Yeah.
He
can spread the floor. We don't have that with Mitchell Robinson.
That is not a feature of what Thibodeau does.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's true.
That's why
I get your point, but you got to stay in the mold of what we're working with. That is not up Tibbs' blueprint. So I'm
just scared of Mitchell Robinson, guys.
Dom, and the fact that I think he went to Washington for like $10 million a year, man. That's kind of cheap.
Who?
Valanciunas.
Oh yeah. When him and Drummond came off the board, I was done. I don't know where they're gonna go after this.
Do you guys know if Bertans has anything left?
Who?
Bertans. Is he washed? Bertans is washed?
Who?
Yeah. You might as well go get Noah.
For now, we're gonna have to stick. We're gonna have to stick with Mitch and Jericho Sims for right now.
Yeah.
That's scary. I agree with Miss Nix earlier that we're still contenders despite that, but relying on Mitch and Jericho Sims is a scary proposition.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, guys, before we go. Yeah. I'm pretty sure
relying on Mitch is worrisome.
I'm pretty sure 4 out of 5 of us on this line thought a couple of years ago we should have got rid of Mitchell Robinson.
Hey, that's my guy.
I know.
I've never won.
That's why I said
that's my guy. But yeah, he got to stay healthy, man, because a healthy Robinson is dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shoot free throws and take yoga. Shoot free throws and stop drinking beers and putting up these silly videos.
Yeah.
Take yoga and shoot free throws, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yo, that's a good one, right? That's a good one right there. Yo, Knickanator, that is a good one right there. Because the shooting the free throws, that is the easiest thing you can do in this league, bro. Those are free.
Hacker Mitch is a real thing. We saw it.
Yeah.
I got a solution for Mitch right now. He just got to want to do it. You see how he shoot line drives. Just aim for the middle of the box. Just aim for the middle of the box. Use the backboard. No art. Just use the backboard. They're going to make fun of you, but when you're shooting 70% from free throw line versus your 50-something or 40-something, who's going to really be laughing?
Or
like, who's going to be laughing when you're shooting almost 70% because you're using the backboard?
How about you stop making videos looking like Earl Monroe and just shoot foul shots?
Right.
We don't need all that shit. Stand on the foul line and practice. We don't need to see you looking like, like you're
Tom
doing
don't like the
something.
tween hezzy. You didn't like that tween hezzy? You didn't like that?
Yo, with the step back three, right? With the step back three, like, bro.
He should have spent the whole summer shooting foul shots.
Yeah, like
really?
Yeah, like the tween to sham guard, step back three.
No.
You gave that young man some work. You gave that young man some work.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, but yo, all right, yeah, I'm out of here. Yo, shout out to everybody that pulled up tonight. Shout out to our special guests, Dominick and Knickanator. Their Twitter is X now, right? But X sounds nasty. I don't like saying it. Their Twitter links are in the description. Yeah, I mean, go follow the guys. Yeah, I mean, these are two of my favorite Nick Twitter personalities. Yeah, I mean, so good content all the time. If you're a Yankee fan, definitely holla at Dominick because he be on the Yankee post hard body. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, again, thank you guys for pulling up and talking shit with us tonight. Sorry I couldn't be more active in the shit talking tonight. The universe wasn't working with me tonight. But we will do this again. We will do this again. Yeah, if you haven't already, like, and sharing is always caring. We out of here. Peace. Good night. Kev, end the live, man. Kev, end the live, Kev.
There you go.